Hey everyone, editing Emily here. Just wanted to say a few things. This episode is like really off the cuff and kind of unstructured, but I hope you guys enjoy it. We're kind of just like shooting the shit with our friend Patrick, and we're very glad that he came on the podcast. Also, you might notice that we mention the Gleek of the Week podcast a lot. If you're unfamiliar, please go check it out because Abby and I are actually going to be on an episode of Gleek of the Week podcast. This episode is going to be released on a Monday, and our episode of Gleek of the Week will be out that Tuesday. So it'll probably be out by the time you're listening to this. And I would appreciate it if you would go listen to that as well. Other than that, we're going to be back with one more bonus episode next week with Andrew from Gleek of the Week podcast, where we're going to talk about the songs from season 1. And then after that, we will get into season 2. So just letting you guys know what the schedule's like. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to River Deep, a podcast where we get deep into Riverdale. I'm Emily.
Oh, I'm Abby.
And today we have a special guest.
Special
episode, special guest. Please introduce yourself, friend.
Hi, I'm Patrick. A friend of the pod, maybe.
Yes.
We'll see. I wasn't introduced as such, so I didn't want to make an assumption, but I'd like to think
We're
so.
not used to this. We're not professional.
I've chatted with both of you before in a Glee universe, but now we're in a Riverdale, an Archie universe. So, I know a little bit about this subject, so I was excited to be invited on the podcast. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for saying yes, honestly.
No,
if
seriously.
I got a text from two randos that you barely know, but know in spirit, in heart, in Glee spirit, I probably would have been like,
right.
And said, not this week. But
it was also literally like a day ago that I asked you.
And that will let your listeners know how popular and in demand I am. Where it's like, can you talk about Archie at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday? Hell yeah,
I'm down.
Yeah.
Nothing else I'd rather be doing. So Patrick is an Archie Comics expert. Would you describe yourself as an expert?
Well, I was prepared to answer this question because, Emily, when we've been messaging back and forth, you're like, oh, it'll be great to have an Archie comic expert on the pod. And I'm like,
who told you that?
No, so, but I kind of was gassing myself up because when you all started this podcast, I think it was just like in my like pages you might like to follow, and you all had like 3 followers, and I followed it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Thank
I was
you.
like, I saw that you guys were behind it, and I messaged Emily. I'm like, oh, I'm obsessed with Archie.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say that I'm obsessed with Riverdale. And I know that as I've listened to an episode or 2 of your guys' podcast, you guys like reference Glee a lot, and
We
like
sure
Week
do.
of the Week, the podcast that we all know and love a lot. And I know that like when we listen to that podcast, sometimes when people come on the podcast and they're like, oh, yeah, I haven't seen all of Glee. I'm like, skip, next, haters.
Two thumbs
Like, how the
down,
heck,
two thumbs
whatever.
down. Tomato,
And then,
tomato.
Why are you here?
and then I'm like, yeah, I have not seen all of Riverdale. I got through like most of season 3, but I got into Riverdale and was really excited about it and watched it live for most of its run in the first few seasons because I was such a big Archie Comics fan. So I have probably like 200 to 300 Archie Comics in my parents' house.
Awesome.
So I definitely like was really into that as like a preteen, and then basically like every time my parents went to the like grocery store, they'd just buy an Archie comic and then like give it.
They
to
used
me
to always
and my
be out at the
sister.
grocery stores. I don't know if they still are.
They were. They kind of are. I have Audio Medium. I have one that I got for Christmas last year from my family.
Oh, that's so cute.
Little Betty and Veronica action.
This is cute.
So, yeah, so like my sister, my dad, and I would like read the comics for like a 3 or 4 year span. we would read it not necessarily so seriously, but it kind of became like a fun little tradition. And then, yeah, like even now, years later, like randomly, my dad or sister will buy me an Archie comic and I'll read it. But it's very, 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 very different from Riverdale. So
Yes.
it was a hoot to watch some of the episodes with them, and we were all kind of like, "What the hell is this?" I loved it because it's like stupid ass teen drama, which is a calling card. So I sometimes kick myself for not having finished Riverdale. I actually have like a lot of funny stories around why I haven't finished it, but yeah, that is my really long introduction that you guys didn't ask for.
But it was beautiful. I think we needed it.
We were going to ask you anyway.
Yeah,
so
it was
it's
necessary.
fine.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So my question is, wait, Emily, do you have a question or anything else that you want to say?
No. Go ahead.
My first question is, like, as an avid Archie comic fan, when you first heard that they're making Riverdale, what was your reaction?
Oh, okay. So it's funny because Archie's such like a sneakily big property. Like a lot of iterations of like Archie in different forms of media have like tried to break their way into public consciousness over the years. So have you guys talked about Archie's Weird Mysteries on this podcast yet? Do you guys know what that is?
Is that the thing that Roberto wrote? Roberto, the showrunner of Riverdale? Is it Archie's Weird Fantasy? Is that what it is?
No, so there was a TV like cartoon that they made called Archie's Weird Mysteries, and it like never really took off. But it was, yeah, like all of the cast of the Archie Comics cartoonified, and each episode centered, it was kind of like a Scooby-Doo ripoff. So they kind of did like Scooby-Doo, but with like Archie characters. And then they've like made, I think, like an Archie movie that was like supposed to be kind of edgy, and I don't think that was ever like a big thing. So when I heard that they were doing it, I was really pleased because I was like, oh, this is another like hilarious attempt to make Archie into something that it's not. And then when I kind of learned it was going to be like a serialized TV drama, I was very, very into it. And I remember talking to people quite a bit about it, saying like, I'm excited. Did you hear that they're doing this? And people are like, what's Archie? Like, what's Riverdale? And I'm like, you don't understand. But
wait, not knowing Archie is crazy to me, though.
Yeah, I think people know it, like, a bit. Like, they know, like, Archie and then, like, Betty and Veronica, but...
No, like, low-key, if you came to me up and you put, like, a gun to my head, you said, oh, what's Archie Comics? I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? It is not in my realm at all. Like,
but, like...
I feel like it's
Archie
white people
finds
culture.
you when you need it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what it's giving. It's giving a white America.
Well,
No,
like,
for-
my
it
mom,
for
like
real
my mom is
though.
a fan of Archie Comics. Like, that's what it is. It's like that generation.
Well, it's time for me to call you guys out now because I was listening to your first episode, and I think Abby, you asked Emily, you're like, did you read the comics? And I was like, I mean, like, I know what they are, but like, I didn't read the comics. And Abby's like, yeah, me either. Like, not our time. And I'm over here like, I'm going to be on this podcast in an hour. And they clearly think I'm like a grandpa. No, but like, I remember when I was reading the comics, I wasn't like obsessed because I was probably a little too old to be like, and no, I was obsessed with them. But I wasn't like weird. I was just like, you kind of have like your little... You two especially know this. You have your little things and you get like
shade.
Yeah, like, that you get like obsessed with, and you're like, I know everything about this, but like I don't feel the need to like talk about it in public. But now that just anybody can make a podcast, I guess that's not true for you two anymore. But like I
mean, we're just anybody.
We are.
But like really I wasn't like going to school and being like, hey guys, like, do you read Archie? But I think at some point, I probably talked to my friends and they're like, I don't know what the hell that is. And I'm like, fair. Because like my dad knew what it was. And my dad wasn't even like a huge fan either. But like when I would talk to like my aunts and uncles, like, yeah, like me, dad, and my sister are, buying each other Archie comics. It's kind of like a fun little random tradition we started. They're all like, oh yeah, like Jughead and Veronica. But like if I talk to a friend, they're like, what the hell is that? So I think I kind of fell into it. Because I hadn't really heard about Archie Comics until probably I was like 11 or 12. It's not like I knew what Archie was when I was like really young. In the womb. Yeah, I wasn't an Archie out of the womb person.
Right.
I was a Gleek
Me
out of the
either.
womb, but not a
No,
Archie
right.
out of the womb.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you watched Riverdale. This is honestly common. Like, I also fell off during season 3. And then I didn't pick back up until like COVID started.
It was the Archie in jail plotline. That was just way too long.
That kept me going.
Kept you going. Why?
Let's see where this goes. Like, yeah, let's talk about the highs and lows of. You know what it was? Like, I feel like low key, I kind of got Riverdale in the sense that, like, even though it was because it's very silly. And it was just like, wow, this is so fucking insane. Let me keep going. Like, I wouldn't watch it live because I just wasn't going to sit in front of the CW screen at 9 p.m. on whatever day it came out. But when the seasons came out on Netflix, I was watching it. Like, I was tuned in. The season that really had me leave, I think it was season 5, where it was just like, okay, it's too much. I've seen Archie in jail. Okay, I'm fine. He's deported off to Canada to punch a bear. Okay, he comes back. Okay, fine.
Oh my god.
Okay, like Veronica's dad is in charge. Is always the blame. Okay, fine. Betty has a secret brother who's in the FBI who might not be her brother. Okay, she's another brother. Okay, fine. I think the breaking point was that
Patrick is like, what?
Well, it's so good because, like, again, when I was listening to that first episode, you were saying like no one really cares about Riverdale spoilers, and like I certainly don't. Which is such a rare thing because usually I care a lot and I do intend to finish the series. So maybe I don't want like every spoiler ever, but when I'd see online, it's like they have superpowers now. I was like, gee, like,
the thing is, it's not even that big of a spoiler. Like, there's so much stuff that happens in Riverdale that it's like you can't even possibly spoil everything. Like, you're still gonna be surprised by something.
Yeah, like when Archie punches the bear, you'll be like, holy shit. I forgot that they said that he was going to punch a bear. There's just so much that happens in between that you forget all these fucking spoilers. And
it's so good.
Like, what was season 5? What's the start of season 5, Emily?
Well, season 4 ended abruptly because COVID happened. So they had to stop filming. And so then like the first few episodes of season 5 are like finishing season 4. And that's when they graduate high school.
This is what really got me. This is the plotline that really pissed me off. And I was like, I can't watch this. It was Archie not finishing high school. Yeah, no, he doesn't even get to the war. He's just like, I'm just gonna quit school.
Well,
oh my god, this is killing me because like, again, not to make it about like Glee and the Gleek of the Week podcast,
no,
but
it's
like,
okay. We talk about Glee all the time.
It's so funny when like I'm listening to people like be like, wait, I kind of fell off Glee. Like, what happens?
And then you like, explain it.
And then you're kind of like, okay, like, yeah, like I get that it's like funny for you, but whatever. But now I'm that person.
Yeah.
Where you guys are like, Archie goes to war, and I'm like, excuse me.
Because it's actually fucking insane. But it's crazy that the most normal plot line of him being like, oh, I'm just not going to finish school. I was like, Archie, you've done everything so far. Just finish it up. Just finish it.
He was behind. He missed school because he was in jail.
which again is like it wasn't even that I didn't appreciate the camp of it. Like, I know it's a meme where people make fun of him saying you didn't experience the highs and lows of high school football. Like, I specifically do remember where I was when I heard that because I knew that it was going to become something, but it wasn't. It was just like, why is he in jail for like, it was like 11 or 12 episodes. I was like, get out of jail. Like, let's move the plot along. So it lost me a little bit, but
I got sick of it too, believe me.
Yeah, he was in there for a minute.
I was trying to, my best friend at the time, or is still my best friend, but like at the time they were living in Oregon and I'm in Illinois. And so then
Illinois, put your hands up.
Illinois represent. Put your hands up. And so then, we were trying to figure out, like, can we watch Riverdale together? Because she and I were always like, we need to watch Riverdale, LOL. And sometimes we watch it when we were home together at the same time. But then when she moved, we're like, we should watch Riverdale. But that was before I feel like I understood, like, Discord and like how to stream stuff together with people. So we would literally like be watching by ourselves and like texting about it. And that was a really cute tradition that we did for like a few weeks, but then it kind of died off. And so then I kind of stopped watching because I was trying to make it work to like watch along with somebody else, and then we both kind of got distracted into other stuff. And then every time I'd hear about how crazy Riverdale was getting, it was just like, I know at one point I'm going to get back into it and I'm going to watch all of it. Like, I was never turned off from it. It was just like, it became difficult to keep up with.
I was the same way in season 3.
Since you
I just
all
couldn't keep
started
up.
the podcast, I'm kind of like, I've been texting you, Emily, like, I am going to finish it soon. So I was going to finish it and then bully you guys to let me come on the podcast, but now...
As if we'd need bullying. Like, we'd be begging you to, like, it'd be so easy to get on here.
Well, I know, because I'm always like, I know you haven't finished, but, like, do you want to come on the podcast?
Yeah, I was like, do you want to come on before you even, like, watch Riverdale again?
Do you guys have, like, names for your listeners? Riverdalians?
I like to use the term Riverdalian. I do.
Riverdalian. Okay, so, all right. So, fear not, Riverdalians. I will watch all of Riverdale.
Yes.
You would really... Are you aware that season 7, they're in the 50s?
I have been told that either by you or whatever.
Yeah, so season 7 is basically just an entire season that is like the comics.
Which I would really love to see.
I'm actually curious on when you... Okay, so, like, you watch... So, Archie Comics comes on... Not Archie Comics. What's it called? The show comes out. You're watching the fucking show. What is your reactions when you're seeing these characters in the flesh, and then, like, are you comparing them to the comics? Are you like, what the fuck is this? Or are you just, like, fine with the differences, or, like, the compare and contrast between them?
Yeah, tell us about the characters in the comics.
Well, I think that the whole show, I think because I had, like, survived Glee,
Right.
I was like, this IP or whatever that, like, has some type of meaning to me that I know quite a bit about. I, like, don't care what they do with it. So when they started it off, I wasn't like, this is interesting, this is good. I was just kind of like, it was happening and I was watching. Like, I didn't watch the first episode and then go to my Archie comic stands, my dad and my sister, be like, it bastardized Archie. But you know, it was fun to kind of poke fun at it. My biggest grievance, honestly, though, was with Jughead. Because they really did not keep much of what Jughead was
That's what I've heard.
Like, Archie was, you know, the all-American boy, whatever, boy next door thing. Betty was the girl next door. Veronica was kind of the rich, snobby girl. Reggie was... I'm kind of going fast, but, like, so some of them, what I'm saying, like, Betty, Veronica, and Archie, I feel like the adaptations were somewhat, like, understandable of making this kind of G-rated comic into, like, a PG-13 teen show. Like, the core of Betty,
that
Veronica,
has murder
and
in
Archie
it,
were exactly, was kind of, you know, fine. You know, they just, like, sexified all of them. But, yeah, like, Jughead, no. And then all of the parents do not play
I was going to ask about the
roles at all.
parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm speed running too much. Like, should I focus on, like, each character a little bit more? Or, like, how should I go about this?
I'm more curious about the Jughead. Like, is he more egregiously... Is he worse or better in the comics?
My understanding is that he's kind of, like, goofier in the comics. Like, he just, like, eats a lot of food and, like, has his little crown. And then in the show, they made him more unlikable, in my opinion. We don't really like him.
So the comics are usually just, like, a few pages that tell one little silly story. So it's kind of like The Simpsons in that, like, everyone's perennially, like, the same age. They very, very rarely reference to things that happened in the past. It's kind of like, it's always an ongoing thing where they're teenagers and Betty and Veronica are in love with Archie and they have this, like, big circle of friends, and then sometimes the story that's a few pages of a comic is about, oh, like, who's Archie gonna ask to the dance, and then that story's over, and then it's like, oh, like, isn't Betty got a bad grade on a test and she thinks that she's jinxed, but she's actually not, and then, like, a few pages later it's like, oh, like, Archie and Jughead are entering a skiing contest, but they have to beat Reggie and Moose. And then like
it's kind of like a sitcom, right?
So it's kind of like just
like Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, but it's like really, really short stories usually. Okay. And then so when the comics started and things like that, like it was very rare to have like a big storyline. Like there wasn't a storyline. It was just like you read the comics enough where you learned what the characters' personalities were, and then they were just kind of put in these like funny situations, but it was a very formulaic, like you're following this character for a few pages and seeing what, shenanigans they're up to, and then you're following this character and then this character. So like I showed you all audio medium, like this book. So like this comic book is just about Betty and Veronica. So all of this like few page comics are stories about them. So how I was like engaging with the comics is that you'd buy like a digest. So it's like a Betty and Veronica digest.
Double digest. Yeah.
Or like or maybe it's just Betty, or maybe it's just Veronica, or it's Archie, or it's Archie and Friends. And when it's Archie and Friends, like maybe a comical feature Archie, and then it'll be Jughead, and then it'll be like a story about all of them. Then it'll be like Veronica and Betty. But if it's like just an Archie one, then Archie's pretty much in like every single comic. And when I say comic, it's just like it could be anywhere from like 3 pages to like 10 pages, but it's just like a little short story. And so when we think about Riverdale, it's a TV show, so they're making up a plot, if that's what you can call what they did. I don't know, but like
a serialized story, like a storyline that they follow.
There's a storyline, etc. That isn't so much the case with the comics, but in like maybe the past 2 decades, they were really trying to like reinvigorate the IP. So they would make a lot of spin-offs. So this made like national news, but probably in like sometime in the 2010s, news broke that Archie finally chose between Betty and Veronica.
Who did you choose?
Who did you choose?
Please be Betty. Please be Betty.
Okay. He chose Veronica.
No!
Listen. It's a really important that you listen.
He's going to have a breakdown.
I could never win.
So I remember literally like being in my kitchen. We had a little TV in the kitchen, and it was like WGN News, and it's like, breaking news, Archie from the Archie Comics.
That's crazy.
I was looking at Veronica. So, he chose Veronica, and then like a series of comics came out where it was like a whole plot about like how he chose Veronica and got married to Veronica. But then heel turns out, and when you read that first comic, he's just walking around Riverdale one day, and he sees a path with like 2 different roads, and he just like goes down one road, and then like it's like he goes into like this mystical land where then you're just like transported into a life where he chooses to marry Veronica. And then there's one where he chooses to marry Betty. So it was called, I think, like Life.
Oh, it's like sliding doors.
Yeah, and so then like they would publish a comic where it was like the story about him marrying Veronica, and then they'd publish the next one about him marrying Betty, and it's like a parallel universe. So in like the universe that he chose Veronica, he gets a job with the dad, Hiram Lodge, and it turns out that like Hiram's evil. And,
wow, that's like the show.
That's like the show, but like in the actual comic, there's no exploration of him being like an evil person. He's just like a rich guy who kind of like
he has like evil eyebrows.
Is dating Veronica.
Okay.
And in the Betty one, he becomes like a school teacher, and he's like teaching music at Riverdale High, and like Betty's teaching history.
Finn Hudson?
No, it was literally like Finn Hudson coded. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is they would like make these one-off comics where they tried to make it like a little bit more adult and serious and like plot driven. And then they would have comics where it's just like, like Jughead entered a hot dog eating contest. So you can kind of explore, like if you go on like Archie.com now or something, there's probably like a few different like adult driven like comics that have like a progressive story. And then I think they started doing like zombie horror stuff.
Yeah, I've seen like Vampire Veronica is a thing.
Sure.
They have like Riverdale comics too.
So that all probably started like
After
within
Riverdale.
the past like decade. Beforehand, to my knowledge, it was more just like the different digests of the different characters.
Mm-hmm.
I like forgot how much I know about this. Like I could talk about this literally for like 3 hours. So you have to give me like very specific questions. Oh yeah, Jughead. So Jughead,
yes.
Jughead in the comics is really just like his main character trait is that he likes to eat.
Mm-hmm. He's just like me.
The second character trait is that he's a woman hater. Maybe not.
Oh,
with you guys.
Remember, I lied. I did lie. I don't know. He
doesn't
guy.
like hate women, but he's like always like running away from girls and stuff.
People
like,
say that he's like Ace in the comics.
Yeah, he kind of is. Where he's just like, "Hey, Arch, like I want to eat hamburgers at Pops," and then like that's literally what it is. I can't tell you how many comics there are where you like people are like, "Where is Jughead?" and then they pan to like him just like eating like hamburgers somewhere.
In the show, it's just him writing on his laptop.
No, exactly. Yeah. They're like, we can't have this guy eating every time. We'll give him a computer instead.
He really didn't have any of, like, it's so funny that it's like, his dad was like in a gang and like was fucking Betty's mom and like blah, blah, blah. Like none of that obviously was in the comics. The comics are like very, very, very white picket fence, G-rated, silly stuff, whatever. And it's funny that, like, in the actual show, like, which characters that are, like, kind of side characters they integrate into, like, the main cast versus which ones are kind of just, like, they brush aside. Like, Cheryl Blossom in the comics is, like, a very, very rare character to show up. Like, she is, like, kind of from... I don't even know if she, like, canonically lives in Riverdale. I think she, like, lives in, like, the town over... But she's just like, we'll come to Riverdale and like fuck shit up for everybody. She's supposed to be like, I'm really hot. Betty and Veronica.
That's pretty accurate.
I'm actually just going to go on a date with Archie today. Like, sucks for you guys. And like all of the guys are like obsessed with Cheryl Blossom.
Oh,
and
God.
I think
it's
like
kind of real.
In the like actual like real life context, I'm pretty sure like Cheryl Blossom was kind of like a pinup girl kind of thing for...
What's a pinup girl?
Like a,
like a bombshell, like a
bombshell, like
a new bombshell.
They would try to make it seem like you could like buy a poster of like Cheryl Blossom because she was like
she's
hot.
like the sexy one.
Yeah, she's the sexy one. So she very rarely shows up, and then her brother Jason, like they are twins, but like Jason like really, really, really rarely shows up. But he'll also fuck shit up. Like Jason will come and he'll be like, Archie,
I told you
I'm gonna date Betty and Veronica.
Jason has a bad spirit. I said Jason has a bad spirit to Emily. I just
they are kind of like evil and sinister, but like it's very rare that you'll get them unless you buy like a Cheryl Blossom digest. So like they're not really central. Like they're not part of the crew. But then like watching Riverdale, they like randomly kill Midge. And it's like, Midge is like more of a central character than like Cheryl Blossom is. At least she's like, she's less iconic, but she's like around more.
Right. Moose and Midge are like part of the gang, right?
Yeah, they're part of the gang, but like Moose is really dopey. So in the comics, like it goes, like you literally read like, duh, like every 5 words. It's like, Midge, we should go, duh. To Pops, to eat hamburgers. So it's like he's very one-dimensional as well, where it's like stupid jock. And then
what about Reggie then?
Okay, so Reggie's kind of like a frenemy.
That actually fits. That fits.
Which kind of fits what they did with him in Riverdale, but like so.
I feel like they melded Moose and Reggie into one character in Riverdale.
They may have, because they made Moose like Kevin Keller's love interest, right?
Yeah.
And Kevin Keller wasn't part of the Archie comic universe at all until the 2010s. So they basically it was like the Obama years, and they're like, we're gonna introduce a gay character.
So he's gay in the comics?
He is gay in the comics.
Oh, okay.
And so then, like,
I'm surprised.
There was like times where you could like buy like a Kevin Keller comic, and it was all about him like dating boys, but it was very less like lovey-dovey. And he'd be like, I have a crush on this guy. And like, okay, we're going on a date. But it wasn't like in the Archie comics, there's, pictures of, Veronica and Archie kissing and stuff like that. That was a more rare thing for the Kevin Keller stuff. But it was funny because they kind of integrated him like he'd always been there in the Archie gang. So he's like, it wasn't like new guy comes into town. It was like, oh yeah, like Kevin.
He's
like,
always been here.
Yeah. To my recollection, maybe I read many of the Kevin Keller stuff because that was kind of when I like stopped reading it, and then I was naturally curious about like them having like a gay character. So I had, like,
naturally curious.
Yeah, I'm curious. But like I just wasn't like super. I don't know like a lot about his lore, but they definitely like tried to integrate him. But like if you like this Betty and Veronica one, I keep referencing because that's the only one I have on hand. He's like not really in them very often. So I feel like he was kind of like a flavor of the decade. Like, oh yeah, like Kevin.
Yeah. It was hashtag when they got woke.
Right. And so they probably like have stuff with him in it, but he's not really central to like the Archie universe. But then in, the first episode of Riverdale, it's like Kevin establishes, he's like, I'm main villain, y'all. Like, I'm main cast. And I was like, oh, interesting. But then like some of the other characters weren't.
That's because the showrunner is a gay man, and he was probably like, I need Kevin to be a big character.
Sure.
It's kind of, that's so Ryan Murphy coded.
As they should.
Yeah.
It was Ryan Murphy coded for sure.
Are Josie and the Pussycats in the...
Yes. So
are they black?
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, they are? Like originally?
So. Originally, no. I don't think so. I don't think they were originally. But I think like in modern, that's something I can't tell you because I feel like I've seen both. And I think like in like most of like the last like decade or two, I think that they were black, but maybe I'm misremembering that.
I have a Josie and the Pussycat shirt, and one of them is black.
I think that's what it was. It was like the classic, like the third one is black, but like,
we
have our token. Yeah, the token.
This is the 1 to 15 ratio.
Okay, but like are Chuck and Nancy in Riverdale?
Okay, so Chuck is in Riverdale.
Yeah,
do you remember?
Nancy isn't?
Who the fuck is Nancy?
I don't know who Nancy is.
Okay, so Nancy's like the token black, like opposite of Chuck. It's kind of like Daria with like the two black characters in Daria. It's like they're like the perfect like we do everything and really great, but like we're not really central or important to anything. Like that's kind of what Chuck and Nancy are in the Archie comics.
Okay,
they're probably the least featured,
of course. They
because
Chuck and made him a villain in the show.
Oh,
I don't know if you
that's
remember
awful.
this. Wait, I know we were upset about it because we were like, this is the only black guy in the show.
And he's evil as fuck. I mean, he's not highly evil, but he's like
what
pretty
season
evil.
Does he come in?
He's in season 1.
Okay,
he's such a Kia, you don't even remember. He's such a nobody.
You once told me that you have a crush on Dark Betty in her wig.
I didn't say I had a crush on Dark Betty. I was like,
right. Clear the searches.
That is like the best character in Riverdale. Like Dark Betty.
That's real.
Oh, so he was like, right. Dark Betty was.
He is connected to her introduction. Yes.
Right. Like she was like on a date with him, and she's like, I'm Dark Betty now. I'm gonna like be.
She like almost drowned him.
He did like kind of like a revenge porn thing against Veronica. He went on a date with Veronica and then told everyone that they hooked up and lied about it. And so then Betty finds out about it and gets pissed because she finds out that he's a football player. He and the football team had this like book where they like kept track of the girls they hooked up with. And one of them was her sister, Polly.
And Jason was the one who did that.
Yeah.
So she was like, I'm about to get revenge. Let's.
Okay. Right. Yeah. But they never did anything with Nancy.
No.
That's sad.
They had their black quota filled.
There's a character named Nancy in a later season who's in one episode, but I don't know if she's supposed to be like Nancy from the comics. She's basically a love interest for one of the Pussycats. And
but
she's
the
like
thing
gay.
is the thing is like they're like Moose, Midge, Nancy, and Chuck are like super side characters. Like they'll very rarely have like a comic about them, but they'll sometimes like be with the gang.
Right.
I feel like that's accurate to Moose in season 1, minus him being Kevin's love interest.
Yeah. And is Moose with Midge in the comics?
He is. So they're like very much together, and then like a lot of Moose's like comic strips will be like like, why are you looking at Midge, Jughead? And then is Ethel in the Riverdale?
She is. Yes.
I was
Okay,
going to ask
okay.
about her.
So Ethel's also kind of in that category where she's like kind of irrelevant, but Ethel and Jughead are kind of romantically linked.
Oh.
Where like Ethel's
I knew
like
this.
into Jughead, and like the thing is,
Isn't she like in love with him? And he doesn't.
she's like, that's kind of her character trait, is that she's kind of like the dorky, like geeky, like maybe homely girl that like they.
Did you just say homely?
They give her like, big buck teeth and stuff or whatever. But
Of like in Glee when Brittany's dad is giving the speech during the wedding. And he's like, yeah, my daughter's the best person in this in this room. Some of you guys are downright homely, and I was like, what is that? That's why I'm fucking weak right now. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh,
like speaking of Glee and like the Britannia wedding. With the OTP hats, I want to make known what my OTP is.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what is your OTP?
So I'm Barchi for sure.
Yes!
And I can't have... That's the thing that like also pissed me off, is like, I know that like at some point Betty and Archie are explored in Riverdale. I didn't get to that because I was like, why the hell are like, for the first 3 seasons, there's like very little like cross like friendship group incest there. Betty and Jughead, which I hate.
Oh, yes. You're on the right podcast.
Veronica and Archie, which like, because like growing up, it was kind of like Betty, like the girl next door, like for sure. It's like, oh, I like Betty more. Like Veronica's very snooty and like above it all and stuff like that. And so, but the thing is, like Archie very clearly in the comics, like kind of prefers Veronica. Like he like strings Betty along, but like I would say, and I think most people who've read the comics would agree with me, that like Veronica and Archie get a little bit more, whatever the comic equivalent is for screen time. They get
Page
they
time.
have more
Page
stuff
time.
together.
Okay.
So I'd say it's like 60% Veronica and like 40% Betty.
Okay.
Almost.
But you're still a Barchi.
But I'm a Barchi person. But the thing is, like, looking back, it's like Betty deserves more than Archie, because Archie will just kind of sometimes be a second choice. And that's explored in the comics sometimes, where like Betty will be like, I don't want to be like second fiddle to you, but it's like very G-rated. You kind of have to like imagine what like they would really be like.
It's kind of like Sims.
Yeah, it kind of is. So, I do like Betty and Archie together a lot more.
So that's why you don't like Betty and Jughead, because you want Betty and Archie together. And that didn't exist in the comics.
Like Jughead hates Veronica in the comics.
That
really
adds
doesn't like her.
up, honestly.
That makes a lot of sense.
They are like kind of at odds all the time. Like they'll just be like always quipping at each other.
Is it because
That's really
Jughead and
funny.
Archie have gay tension in the comics? Do they have gay tension in the comics or not?
Not that I picked up on, really. No.
What I can say?
But like Jughead and Betty are friends. So like I would say Jughead considers Betty like a friend, and like he doesn't hate her as like a woman. But I'm pretty sure he like describes himself as like a woman hater in the comics regularly, where he's just like,
Wow,
I don't want to date.
I had red pilled.
But it's less of like women are like bad to society, and more like I'm
not interested in any
girls,
romance.
kind of.
Yeah.
Which
That
is like
makes
kind of a
sense.
fun thing to play around with in like the 50s and 60s and 70s or whatever. But all of them will kind of, there'll be times when like Jughead is interested in a girl, or like does end up, at the end, like last part of the comic strip, like going on a date with somebody or what have you. It's just, like there's a lot of like random unnamed girls that like Archie and Reggie are fighting over. So like Reggie and Archie are kind of typically fighting over Veronica, and
Checks
then like
out.
Reggie isn't really often trying to date Betty. And so like Betty's kind of fighting for Archie with Veronica. So Archie and Reggie are frenemies, and they just kind of like are always trying to one up each other. But then some comic strips, like, they're more chummy and they're like doing bro shit together or whatever. And then sometimes they're like actively trying to like prank each other and like make them look stupid in front of the girls and stuff like that. But Reggie's not really, he's an antagonistic figure. He's not very kind. You as a reader, like, no one's favorite character is Reggie.
No,
he's just kind of there to like,
I mean, that's what he is in the show at first.
To Archie. He's just like a foil to Archie.
So what I'm hearing is that when Reggie and Veronica get together in the show, that's not based on nothing. Like, I thought that was totally just because of the actors.
And okay, I just like love to know that they actually explore like the different relationships and stuff. I knew for sure that like Archie would happen at some point, but I don't know how it's exactly happening. But yeah, like
they really got off the Barchi train for a while. Like, for a long stretch, it was like, okay, nothing Barchi. It really felt hopeless, but then they did eventually explore it.
Thank God, because I remember in the first episode of Riverdale, they go, oh, like, you know, it's the classic exposition or whatever. I don't know if that's the right word, but Kevin will be like, Archie, your neighbor who you've had a crush on forever, who just looks at you like you're the girl next door.
He calls them Endgame.
No, they're Endgame to me. And the thing is, like, I would hope to think in like whatever Archie universe I'm participating in, like, Archie at the end of the day does realize that Betty's always been there for him and stuff like that. It's just that I hope that Betty is holding him accountable to how he treated her as teens, because she kind of always was second fiddle. So I love it when there'd be like a really, really genuine like strip about Archie and Betty, and it's like a cute little story about like them going on a date and them being, you know, really whatever. Because as a kid, it was kind of confusing, and honestly, I think this like fucked up my understanding of like what it meant to be like boyfriend girlfriend or whatever, because I was so confused. I'm like, how is Archie like what dating meant? Because like Archie was like dating all of these girls, and so I was like a kid, I was like, is he cheating on them and stuff? Like, I didn't understand that you could go on dates
you
with
could
people.
Date enough in a relationship. Yeah.
So like I remember I was dating somebody and they're like, are we dating? And I was like, no. Even though I was going on dates with them, I was like, we're not dating because like I'm not your boyfriend. Because I literally I was like 25
I
saying
that's
this
common though,
because it was like from Archie. I'm like, I don't understand what this means. Like, I could just be going on date. Like, yeah, I guess we're dating.
It can be kind of confusing though. People use dating synonymously.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
Like being in a relationship.
It's more than just Archie influencing that, but yeah, I was confused.
No, it's fucking Archie's fault, I think. Fuck Archie, man.
Yeah.
And the comics.
Whoa, watch it.
Oh, my bad.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, gosh, I'm sorry. I've never talked in this much depth about this topic before to anybody. So I'm really enjoying myself and going on lots of different tangents and not finishing my thoughts. So I apologize.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, like my OTP for sure is Archie and Betty.
The right choice.
Us too.
Yeah, that's what. Why is that the case for you guys? Not having the context of like the decades long, who's Archie gonna choose sort of thing.
It's just like there's just something about them. Honestly, I love Lily Reinhart, and I love Betty. Yeah. I think Betty's like the best character of the whole series.
Like
she has the least annoying moments. I think she's like one of the best actors on the show. I think as well, and just like I don't know, like I just. Something about them gets to me. Like I can't even like I think it's because I like a Friends to Lovers. I am a Friends to Lovers fan, and the fact that they're friends. But I do agree that Archie does fucking like play her like a fiddle sometimes, and like he's like, I'm not into you, Betty. I'm sorry, I'll never love you like I do Veronica, or whatever bullshit he fucking says. And it's like, Archie, you're so fucking annoying. Like this girl's right here, but it's like whatever. I can't force you to like her. But also like sometimes he gives her looks, and I'm just like, oh, they're yearning. Like they're literally yearning. I can feel it. But yeah, I don't know. I've just always been Team Barchi, but there's no real reason. Like, I can't defend them at all. Like, I can't even write an essay. More, like, I can't. Maybe 2 paragraphs.
Well, for me, it's the trope thing. Like, I love, like, a childhood friend still. Like, I think it's so cute that they've just, like, been neighbors and, like, best friends their whole lives. I think that's so cute. But also the show, like, as someone who watched the whole thing and got really tired of it at one point, like, I stopped watching in season 3, like I said. Like, Bughead and Varchi, I was just so sick of them. Like, you know, like, here we go with Glee again. You know, like, season 3 specifically of Glee, at least for me, I got so sick of
I know
Finchel.
that.
I was like, I've had an... I know, I've seen it.
I've seen it.
I got so sick of Finn and Rachel in season 3. I was like, they're getting engaged, they're getting married. I have to watch them have a main storyline every fucking episode. It just got like so annoying. And I didn't even dislike them as a couple. They were just like getting so much screen time and it was annoying. I felt that way about Bughead and Varchi. Like, I was just like, I'm sick of, they both dated for like 3.5 seasons straight. And I was just like, can we get something new? Like, I liked Betty and Archie because they weren't together and they kind of like were like yearning. And it was like something new. Like, I was like, give me something new, you know?
I think I'm gonna watch some Barchi clips after this. Like, I'm so gonna like watch a compilation.
Barchi
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, when this podcast is over, I'm gonna have like phone in bedtime, and I'm gonna be like,
no, literally like rubbing my feet.
Search Barchi edit.
No, literally rubbing my feet.
You're gonna get so many spoilers, Abby.
I don't
gab.
I don't
actually,
gab.
maybe I won't do that because I don't mind when you guys throw in spoilers, but I guess I don't want to like know everything.
No, I'm gonna see that shit. I need to see them lock lips immediately.
Okay.
Like what?
But I know what you're saying, Emily, because I hate it when a couple is together so long in a teen show where it's like, oh gosh, the only thing we can make them do now is get teen married.
Or cheat.
Like that
or
shit
cheat.
happened in Degrassi all the time, which is another one of my obsessions that happened in Glee. So I don't like it when it's like teen marriage bullshit, whatever. And so the comics are kind of fun because you go to the next page and you don't know, like, are Betty and Veronica hot on each other this week or are they not? Like, is the story going to be about whatever? And it is so G-rated that it never gets into, like, I remember listening to the 2 years first episode and it's like Betty or Veronica and Archie just have sex every episode and like whatever. It's like, you don't have to like go through all of that. It's just like, Veronica's like making fun of Archie for being poor and he's like, oh, I have to like get a job. And then Jughead's like, oh, like, get a job at Pops. And then I can get, like, free burgers. And that becomes, like, a point of contention. Like, it's, like, stupid shit like that. And then Veronica comes and she's like, oh, you have a job now? Like, take me on a date. And he's like, I have to pay back Pop because Jughead ate all the burgers. And then it's over. Like, that's what an Archie comic is. It's not, like, exploring anything deep or going that... whatever. It's like a 3-minute episode of television.
So Betty and Veronica, I assume it's like hot and cold with them. Like, are they like friends in the comics or is it just like them like fighting over Archie?
Like, are they frenemies?
Great question. So they're also frenemies, but like they're closer friends than like Archie and Reggie are. Okay. So like Archie's best friend is Jughead. And then Betty and Veronica are each other's best friends. But they're also like enemies because they're fighting over Archie.
That's so Quintana.
There'll be some
Please.
There'll be some like strips where it goes like they're like planning a calendar for like who gets Archie which weekend or like
oh my god
stuff like that.
They're kind of into polycule.
Wait, there's an episode in season 7 called Betty and Veronica Double Digest, and that is like basically the plot. Like they both want to date him, and they're both like going on dates, and he's like going on dates with them like multiple dates in the same day, and then he's like so tired and he can't stay awake. He has to drink all this coffee and blah blah blah. Wait,
that's so good. I can't wait.
It's very Archie Comics, but then there is Riverdale twist to it. But
of course, but
then
also,
they float away and they're zombies.
The thing that, you know, we talked about Josie and the Pussycats, but there's also like the Sabrina the Teenage Witch tie-in.
I was going to ask you about Sabrina.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you'll just be reading a Archie and Friends comic and then randomly like Sabrina's there. And the thing is, anytime that like a character is central to whatever comic strip you're reading, it's like they're always there in that universe, even though you never see them. So it's like, gosh, like that Sabrina, like weird stuff happens when she's around. And
even though you've never seen her before.
Right. And then everyone's at Pops, then it's like, Sabrina, come sit with us. Like, you're normally part of this universe. And then we never see her again for the rest of the comic book. But yeah, so Archie kind of brought Josie and the Pussycats and Sabrina, and then also like the band, the Archies, who sing Sugar Sugar. Like some
sugar,
of the
Sugar.
Ooh. They should have sang that on Glee.
Honey, honey.
They sang it on Riverdale.
Which is so
what?
shocking.
And I did know that. So anyhow,
It's in the second episode.
Yeah. So like, yeah, they just have a lot going on, like a ton going on.
The Sabrina TV show, like the Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV show from the 90s, is that based off of Sabrina?
Oh yeah, that's my question.
So like Sabrina was like featured in Archie Comics in like the 60s and 70s and stuff. I think is probably when she first got introduced as like the new friend Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You can actually find a YouTube video if you like, there's like an animated part of like, they animated like some Archie comic thing where like all the Archie gang is like interacting with Sabrina in like the 70s, and there's like all this like weird disco stuff. I'll have to send it to you guys.
Okay.
But like, so Sabrina is very much tied to like the Archie IP. Like Sabrina came from that. So I think
that means it's technically supernatural, the Archieverse.
Exactly. So there is. So then sometimes there'll be a like little twist where they don't bend reality too much, but you know, like kind of like Calvin and Hobbes. Where did you all? To ever read that, or is that another?
No, I only know the name.
Thing that only I know.
I only know the name.
I'm trying to think of like a comic. It's kind of like The Simpsons and Treehouse of Horror and stuff, where like they'll just kind of like do like a random goofy plot where the universe is like kind of turned on its head for a small amount of time. So they don't so there'll be like a comic thing where it's like Archie's daydreaming about being a superhero, and maybe there's like 10 pages about like Riverdale's actually superhero high, like sky high. So
anytime stuff like that happens in the show, it's accurate to the comics, technically.
So when people were like shitting on Riverdale online, I would see some of the Archie defenders being like, y'all don't know that like the comics sometimes randomly will just be like, yep, like we're in outer space now. And like they're aliens,
right.
But it's like G-rated. It's kind of cute. It's like, and then it goes back to normal. So I think the people who are writing these comics, who have maybe been writing them for years and years and years and stuff, are like, I don't want to do another like Archie goes on a date with Veronica and Betty gets jealous storyline. So they're
I want
like,
to spice it up.
I'll illustrate like, you know, actually like Riverdale's in space now, and this is what it would be like if like they were all in space, and then there'll be like 10 pages about that, and then it'll go back to like Jughead's eating burgers. So you all should really like next time you're in a grocery store or something and there's like the magazine rack, go buy one of like the Archie comics, and you'll like see what they're like $3 or whatever. Like,
I have a Betty and Veronica comic, but I think it's like a recent one.
I've literally never seen a comic in the grocery store in my life. I used
to go to comic book stores all the time.
Maybe that's where I need to head out to, because I've never been to a grocery. What grocery stores are y'all going to? Like BJ's or something? Or
the local, like my local. I mean, I have Publix down here. It's just the local.
Sure. I mean, like if you go to Barnes and Noble or something too, and you know how they have like a magazine aisle with like the most recent Time issues and stuff like that, like you'll for sure see like a Betty and Veronica or like an Archie comic thing. Just like buy one and everything that I'm saying will kind of click. But it's just like typically a book with a bunch of like little tiny short stories. And then when you know, like the 50s and 60s and stuff, like it was probably like for 1 penny you'll get like this like 10-page comic book that tells like 2 stories. But now it's like you buy a digest and there's, you know, like 40, 50 stories maybe in that one little book.
Question.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've maybe heard all the speculation about what year Riverdale takes place in. Mm-hmm. Do you have any strong opinions on when you think it takes place based on like comics and like whatever, blah, blah, blah?
I mean, I think that like the comics just really, because the comics change with the decade. So, like, for example, like in 2000, 2009.
They talked about the house crash, the fucking the market crash.
It'd be like it would literally be like a recycled comic from like the 70s or 80s or something, but it would be like, hey, let's go to the Katy Perry concert, and they don't show Katy Perry, but it's like, we have to get tickets to go see Katy Perry. How are we gonna afford them? Blah blah blah. And then,
is it aesthetically like the 2000s though, or is it like the 40s?
The art style kind of changes over time. So like, I have this as well.
Okay.
So like, it'll kind of change like throughout the decades. So like now Archie looks like this in the comics, but like this is like kind of like 80s, 90s. This is like 2000s, 2010s, and like now in like the 2020s, he looks like this. Sorry, audio medium, but like the aesthetic is to whatever like the comic book people are like wanting to do. But then like in recent comics they have cell phones, and that becomes like a plot point of stuff. Like, I got a text, but like obviously in like the 70s that wasn't a thing. So then like they'll put in like current pop culture references where, you know, in the 80s there's probably like, man, like she looks like Stevie Nicks. And now it's like, dude, she looks like Katy Perry or like Taylor Swift or whatever. So, Abby, your question when you're saying like based off the comics, like what is it alluding to? Like, I don't think that matters because the comics are always kind of in like a vacuum of time.
Right. Okay.
So the show's accurate in that sense. That's accurate to the comics because the show is like, it has like a very like mid-century aesthetic, but then they're like using iPhones and stuff. The question
is like,
so
kind of, I don't know why I keep referencing The Simpsons. Sorry if you guys aren't Simpsons people.
No, that's real. Like, I used to watch The Simpsons
I'm familiar.
every day,
like,
7 o'clock. 7:30.
Yeah, Abby compared it to Springfield.
Like, it's Springfield, USA. It's like in the comics, it's literally Riverdale, USA. Like it's not in a
Riverdale has their own license.
So it's not like in a state, but in the comics, there's like a lake that they go swimming at, but there's also an ocean. So you'd think that they're like on one of the coasts, but like whatever. So I guess for the time period, I feel like it's just kind of purposely vague where we're in modern times, there's cell phones, there's social media, but like as time progresses, it like doesn't really matter what year it is. So I kind of, and you know what? I like shows like that. Like I think Glee would have been all the better off if they didn't like say what year it was. They could have just like kept them in high school forever and it wouldn't have mattered.
Like Finn has like a beard and he's like, man, I have to go to geometry.
I have gym.
I have gym.
I mean, yeah, like the last season of Riverdale, the actors are like in their 30s and they go back to playing high schoolers.
No, yeah, that's
and it's
real.
like fine. I'm happy to
because
pretend.
I feel like at that point,
whatever.
They've done witchcraft and like
right. They've done everything at that point.
I think what's like kind of funny about Riverdale is that they are using this like really wholesome brand of Archie, making it dark and twisted and weird. And then what's just kind of so funny to me is that, like the people who are really into it because it's a teen drama and it's camp and kind of gay or whatever is like, okay, why? Like these people who are really into it like don't really know what like the origin of Archie is, and like it doesn't even matter, which is so funny. So then like you could be, I guess, like a collector of like the Archie comics and be like, yeah, they made that Riverdale show and they kind of like bastardized Archie, LOL, whatever. So I think like on both sides of the aisle, it's probably like if there are like Archie super fans or collectors, I imagine a lot of them are probably like, yeah, what the hell is Riverdale? And then like people who are really into Riverdale are like, yeah, I don't have any interest in ever reading the comics ever. So I am happy that you guys invited me on because it's been really fun to like talk about the differences, because in my mind I kind of just like make those assessments, but I've never really like talked to anybody about
verbalize them. This is the first verbalization. Yes. But now that I'm thinking about because I didn't know, like when I first started watching Riverdale, I had no idea that it was based on Archie Comics at all. My last question is about, there's supposed to be like a new Archie movie coming out, right? Or something?
I've heard things. Yes.
Isn't it a show?
I thought it was a movie.
I've heard
I don't know
thing, but I haven't gone much into it.
I was gonna say,
I'm honestly not really interested.
Okay, damn. Well, wait, would you be interested if it was the same cast?
I mean, No, because they're so old now. Like, I don't really care. Well, like, from my understanding, it's based off of the Afterlife with Archie Comics.
Oh.
And
that was a suspicious O.
My friend has read them, and from what my friend has told me, like, I'm not interested. Like, I don't like anything that's happening in those comics.
Patrick, your thoughts on Afterlife?
Again, it's just kind of like another thing where I can't imagine many people are reading this or they're making much money. I guess they are.
There's got to be somebody out there.
I feel like they're just like cranking out like these random Archie side story things, and I'm curious like what the ROI is. But go off.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's so many different iterations of like Archie at this point.
Shit, I'm about to make myself a black Archie soon.
A Blarchie?
a Blarchie, and see where shit goes. Like,
I'm assuming the serpents don't exist in the comics.
No.
Not even close.
And we kind of glossed over this, but yeah, like all the parents, the only parents you ever see are Archie's dad is probably like, there are sometimes. The most common parent is Mr. Lodge, because Archie's always over at their mansion, and like they're always getting into shenanigans where it's like, I accidentally pushed Mr. Lodge into the pool. Now he won't let me go on a date with Veronica. Or like he's always kind of like, Archie, get the hell out of my house. This is
accurate to the show.
No, yeah, this is kind of like how their beef starts. Like, first of all, I have to say I love Hiram Lodge down. Oh, wait. Are the Lodges, are they of Latin descent in the...
No.
They are very much white.
Everyone is white in the
I don't know why I asked. I just don't know why I asked. I had hope for just 3 seconds. I'm glad they made the Mi Gente Latino in the show, though.
Mi Gente Latino.
No, I saw one of your like posts about like how earnestly they are like saying like, Mija, it's okay. Be like, oh yes, they are of Latin descent. Got it.
Since we're talking about, we just finished season 1. I need you to explain, I'm vaguely familiar. Explain who Miss Grundy is in the comics.
Miss Grundy is just their teacher.
She's like an old lady, right?
Yeah, she's like an old lady teacher at the school. Like she and Mr. Weatherby are like the central, like when they have school plot lines, it's always like, Miss Grundy's gonna give me detention unless I like turn in this like homework, but I forgot my homework at home. So like Archie basically is like, every adult has like a relationship with Archie because he's like obviously the central character, where they're all like, this kid's just kind of like a goofy little messy like teenager who's like has a heart of gold but is always kind of like getting into trouble or causing some type of mischief or like giving me a headache about something.
And then in the show they were like, they're gonna have an affair, we're gonna make her 25 and they're gonna have an affair.
Oh my god. And then she gets murdered in the show, right? I forgot about that. That's so funny.
She gets murdered?
Yeah, she, like with like a golf club or something.
You just spoiled Abby. Yeah, that happens I think in the first episode of season 2.
Wait, it's spoiled? That happens in like the 3rd episode. Yeah.
No, it's in season 2.
You've seen that.
She has seen it. She just forgot.
Oh, slay. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, she does get murdered though.
Whoopsies.
She gets murdered by the Black Hood.
Oh my gosh, she does.
So no, but like season 2 of Riverdale, I will say like was appointment television for me because it was like it's like, Betty, you have a darkness inside of you.
Oh my god!
Like, at that
Iconic.
point, I was kind of just like, how did we get here from the comics? Like that's so funny, especially because like Betty's parents are almost never in the comics unless it's like a Betty's Digest, and like she's like, Dad came into my room to like ask me a question. Like they're not central at all. Like the only adults, like I would say it's like Mr. Lodge and Mr. Weatherby are probably like the biggest adults. Mr. Weatherby is the principal at the school. I don't remember how he
is in the show. Yeah.
Okay. And then like maybe like Miss Grundy and Mr. Andrews. That's like probably it. And then like you see all like a lot of the other parents, but you really only see Betty, Veronica, and Archie's parents. I don't remember if you see Jughead's parents that much. And then, like, for example, you wouldn't see, like, Cheryl Blossom's parents. I'm sure they made, like, an appearance somehow, somewhere in some type of story, but, like, yeah, you'd never really see them. So I'm curious, like, the names that they gave those characters in the show, like Hermione and Hiram, like are for sure the names of like Veronica's
those are
parents.
like old timey
like,
names anyway.
Fred is like the name of like Archie's dad in the comics for sure, but like I don't know if like Jason and Cheryl's parents like were
Penelope
ever
and
introduced.
Clifford.
Like maybe they were at some point, but I'm wondering like did they get names in the show and then now that they're featured in like the Archie Universe comics somehow like I wonder how that ties in, but it very
totally
well
had a
could
blank
be.
slate with that.
Yeah, it very well could be that like there was at some point like they were introduced in some type of comic, but again, like Cheryl Blossom's kind of a rare character, so you don't really see her parents.
Oh, Kia Nation. Nobody National.
But like, who's Cheryl's girlfriend? Tony.
Tony.
I know she's in like the more recent comics.
And Shoni. And Jughead.
Yeah.
And Archie.
Abby
I've
doesn't get
seen
that reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think that like Tony's in the comics really.
Not the original ones.
Yeah, but like now she's in the universe, but like she's not really a thing that I remember.
Still Kia Nation. Wait,
Right.
Is she black in the is she black in the comics?
I think she is.
Probably
yeah.
because I think she was introduced like after Riverdale, probably.
Okay, woke.
This is so fun though. I've like never thought to talk about Archie really.
Wait, before we end off, who is your favorite character? I feel like you're gonna say it'd be like, oh, it's Archie, but I just want to ask.
In the comics and the show?
Ooh, that's a good question too.
In the comics and the show, I have the same favorite character, and obviously it's Queen Betty.
Okay, good answer.
Oh my god, I knew I could trust you.
Like I love a blonde girl.
We're in a good
I'm
company.
a Queen guy. I'm a Betty guy.
Yes.
Britney and Taylor Swift. You know, like I love a somewhat charismatic blonde person. I don't know. It's just like I love like a blonde woman who can't really sing. Taylor Swift, Britney Spears, Quinn.
Quinn. Wait, not too much on Britney though. Britney can sing.
Not too much on Quinn either.
Not too much on Britney. Well, you can go a
but
little
like,
on Quinn.
like I would never disrespect Britney like that. Like I say that out of love.
No, that's real.
She can't. I can talk
Britney
about
Spears
that
is not known for her singing. She's not.
You don't think so?
But,
She's known for performing.
You know what?
That's
like,
fair, actually.
Dancing.
There's lots and lots and lots of things I can say about that subject, but you had me on to talk about Archie, so I will stick to that. But
Britney Spears episode coming soon.
Oh, no, for real. On one of the episodes of Gleek of the Week I was on, I kind of like hijacked it. I'm like, I'm just going to talk about like
I remember
Britney Spears
that
for like an hour, and they're like, okay.
That was necessary. I don't know. I think so. I feel like she's such an interesting figure, but that's why they did 2 episodes of her in Glee.
You know what? And
it's true.
Who else can say that besides the Beatles? So Britney Spears is at the same level as the Beatles.
I agree.
I don't disagree. That's 100% correct.
She's so lucky. She is a star.
That's my go-to karaoke song.
That's my favorite Britney song. Anyway,
like,
who's your favorite character?
Betty's my favorite character. No, but I just like she's really kind and like girl next story, and like I feel like I certainly gravitate toward. That's kind of like the idealized version of life to me, where it's like someone is, and like Archie too. I do like Archie as a character because it's like these people are like painted to be like the good person. It's like they're a good friend. They are, good at things. Like people like them. They're, sociable and great. It's like Jughead is like a glutton and Veronica is like a snobby bitch. So anyway, like I think that's why like as like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, I'm like, well, like Betty and Archie, I like them because they're like nice and perfect and cool and sweet. But I agree. Like Lily Reinhart is like one of the better actors on the show, and the fact that they like made that dark Betty storyline and that like her dad was a murderer and like hilarious because it's like I grew up being like Betty Cooper, sweet girl next door, and then they like completely shift it, and it's Betty's family's like really fucked up and they're like murderers.
Yeah,
like they're like in Polly's and incest. Polly again is like a character that you maybe see once every like 100 comics. Like you know,
okay.
Polly Pocket's unpopular.
With them, like all of them are like only children, pretty much. Like you don't
like
really
the Glee
like
Club
see.
in a way.
Yeah, you don't really like see their siblings, but sometimes they'll randomly be like a sibling there, and you're like, what? But yeah, there's so much more I could talk about, but I don't know. I forgot how much I love Archie.
I hope that we've reinvigorated your passion for it and that you're like, whoa, I'm going to go open up a book, watch some Archie edits, read some comics, rub my feet, sleep and think about Archie.
Everybody watch some Archie edits after this. Homework.
I feel bad because I wasn't really a guest that engaged with you guys. I kind of just like spit information out. So you guys are going to be making the carousel and be like, I guess it's going to be.
We had questions that we need to get answers to. And I feel like I know more now.
I have one last question, and it's, do you ever know, like what's the origin of Jughead's name? Is that ever explained?
Well, his name is like Forsyth Jones.
It's Forsyth Pendleton Jones, the third.
Terrible name.
Yeah. But where does Jughead come from?
I won't lie to you. I definitely knew that at one point. I don't know.
Okay. But it is something that's like a thing. It's not like he's just Jughead with no explanation.
Yeah, like they'll definitely like, because new readers come in and out of like the Archie universe, so they definitely like explained it before, and at one point I'm sure I knew, but I don't remember now. Same with like the stupid crown thing. So I was like, what is this? And then like
why is he
there's like
a
comic strip about how he like lost it and he like lost his sense of self, and it's like, okay.
Aww.
I lost my crown. Let me go eat something at Pop's Burgers. Let me go get a burger. Jug, we gotta find your crown. Jug hasn't been the same since he lost his crown.
No, that's like literally, you know what Archie Comics are now. Like that is literally what it is. It's like, hey, you gotta find Jughead's crown, and then it's like, but he's like, I'll make one out of like paper.
And dandelions.
Okay, and Jughead will be like, it's not the same. And then Archie will be like, well, like Jughead really like it's so important to him because his like grandma gave it to him, and then there'll be like a flashback of like little Jughead and like his grandma. Like that's like literally, it's like wholesome bullshit, and it's like kind of fun and addicting in a way. But I haven't really read, like if I try to read an Archie comic as like a 31-year-old person, I'd be like,
you don't think it'd eat? I think it'd eat. I don't know. It's like me going back to my like Glee archive fanfic files, like and like being like, let's see if this still tastes the same.
No, but I would love to come back and like watch. I'll keep you guys updated on where I'm at because I really mean it. Even if I wasn't on the podcast,
please send me all your thoughts when you watch.
I certainly have like had every intention to finish, and since you all started it, I'm like, it gives me all the more reason to finish because I want to like engage with you two in this way, and that's my like reason to maybe prioritize it over other things. I just finished I Turned Pretty, so now I'm going to move in maybe back into the Riverdale universe.
Like I feel
teen
like
drama
Riverdale like eats that up low key, like if you know. And I also like
The Summer I Turned Pretty, I know people just love it. It's like a guilty pleasure.
It is.
Yeah.
Also, it's like she's choosing between like two brothers, and it's like Archie's choosing between Betty and Veronica. I don't know.
Wait, what team are you? Are you team Jeremiah or Conrad?
Okay, I won't lie. I actually have 30 minutes left of the final episode, so I don't know. But I'm team Conrad if I have to be.
Yeah,
I think everyone is.
Yeah,
I mean,
you be surprised. I see so many like Belly Jared. Yeah, I don't watch the show either, but I see so many Belly Jares.
I just don't like broccoli head stuff.
That's fair.
None of the broccoli.
He's not into it.
No, I don't like that. So yeah.
Well,
you guys want to talk about Glee?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. We need to do a Glee Riverdale episode, actually.
I feel like I did a good job not talking about Glee too much. But
we literally talk about Glee at least 3 times per episode.
No,
like at least it's more than that. Like it's actually like it's Glee and then Wicked, and
I'm always comparing Riverdale to Glee because it's really similar.
Yeah.
So
you know what? Y'all can say that. It's similar in like a certain degree, but
in a way, it's like
it's like I get it, but you can't just like say that like out loud.
No, it's like
I understand what you're saying.
It's like an uglier second cousin who's still good looking, but just not as cute.
I would say the characters are more similar than like the shows as a whole. Like Finn and Archie,
maybe like the tropes.
Finn and Archie are like the same.
Like the tropes are similar. Like boy who's doing football and music, and like can't choose between 2 girls, and like is a sweetheart allegedly. You know,
allegedly is the operative word.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think Finn is worse than Archie. I mean, I've talked about
100%. Oh yeah, I mean,
of course.
Like, come on.
I will. You know what, Emily? Like, whenever I'm on Gleek of the Week, you're like one of the only people who messages me and it's like, I agree with you. I think everybody else is like, he hates Finn and like Blaine, and I don't like him.
No, Finn and Blaine deserve their lashings.
I've never been a fan of either.
Why would you be? Why would you be? You know,
exactly.
Patrick, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all your Archie. Why are y'all laughing? I'm trying to be
we're kicking everybody out.
Okay, first off, we're gonna have you back for sure. Second off, I hope that you had a good time. Third off, where can we find you in your socials if you want to do that?
Sure. So at Paddy Salmon, PADDYSAMMON, you can message me and talk to me about any stupid teen drama show, because I've probably seen it and have opinions about it. And that's how I became friends with you guys, just through like becoming internet friends and like chatting about stupid stuff. So it's fun to have people to do that with. So if you're interested in chatting with a random person on the internet about something stupid, I am glad to chat with you. So thanks for having me on. It was so fun. And yeah, I definitely forgot how much I love Archie. I've said that a few times. So I certainly, I think we'll get more into it, and I'll keep you all updated about my Riverdale watch experience so that next time I'm on, I can talk a bit more about the show and learn from you guys as opposed to just talking the whole time about the comics.
I'm actually interested into seeing like what your reaction will be years after watching it, because because that's what this whole journey for myself has been like. It's been a minute and being like, oh, so like that's what's going on, and I feel like my mind is clear because like I used to love Hiram Down, like, oh my god, that's my baby daddy, and then I was like, oh wait, hey, he's like kind of terrible. Never mind. Now that's I'm understanding now. But either way, this was fun.
So fun.
We have to do it again. Everyone, if you love this, if you love Patrick, make sure to follow him. Make sure to leave a rating, a comment, 5 stars, like, subscribe, comment, subscribe to our TikTok account, our YouTube. I think we have Instagram, Twitter. Just find us everywhere.
Non-existent Patreon.
A non-existent Patreon. Make sure to be a patron.
Wait, you be YouTube?
And
I do post the podcast episodes on YouTube, but like it's not any different.
I was like, yeah.
It's not like exclusive content.
Oh my god, I gotta follow that. Okay. Well, anyway. Sorry to interrupt you, Abby, but I was so curious.
You're real. Like 2 weeks ago, I found out we have a TikTok page. So honestly, like, you're discovering things, I'm discovering things. I think I found out about the YouTube channel on accident as well. Like, I didn't even know.
You're watching Archie edits and you're like, wait, there's a River Deep short.
Is that who I think it is? And it was us. But thank you all for listening. Subscribe. Okay, bye.
Bye. We'll be back next week.
Baby, come back.
I think we will.
Probably.
We're starting season 2 the week after next week, so stay tuned.
Slay.
Slay.